What is really driving the ongoing pricing contest between US and China-based generative AI companies? On the surface, this looks like a technology story. Companies like Anthropic, OpenAI, DeepSeek, and others are competing on model quality, reasoning capability, coding performance, context length, and inference speed. But beneath the technology layer, there is a deeper macroeconomic story. Chinese AI firms today price their models as much as 90% below equivalent US offerings. So, how did China build this level of competitiveness? In part 1 of this series, we looked at a historical macro factor, the cost of capital gap between the US and emerging markets. But part 2 is about the next layer. What happens when the resultant economic growth produces high GDP levels? The key point for India to consider is what high absolute GDP can achieve for an economy. China's economy now stands at almost two-thirds the size of the US economy in nominal terms, about $19.5 trillion against nearly $31 trillion for the US. This scale allows China to invest substantially in research, development, and innovation. And it is this investment that is now leading to extreme competitiveness in generative AI, lowering prices across the board. This is something to note. Per capita income explains living standards, but total GDP explains national innovation capacity. A country can still have much lower income per person and yet have enough aggregate economic scale to fund laboratories, engineering teams, semiconductor programs, AI companies, cloud infrastructure, and industrial research. This is precisely the path China has taken over the last decade. India is approaching a similar position. With the growth momentum it has built, India too can begin leveraging its expanding GDP to fund R&D investments and innovation initiatives across sectors, not just in AI. A common counterpoint to this argument is population size. In emerging markets like China and India, populations are large and household consumption per person is modest. That brings us to the end of part 2 of this series.